Hello, everyone. I'm Hannah Martin. If you don't know me, I am a recently retired judoka, been part of USA Judo for a long time, and I'm here today with 2024 Olympian, Jayne. Hi, John.
Hi Hannah, how are you doing?
Nice to talk to you. I mean, we're just teammates like 2 days ago, so it's cool I get to
Yeah.
actually sit on the other side and interview you about your preparation for the games. So yeah, can you give us a little background information, when you started judo, where you were training, all that kind of thing?
So I started judo when I was 3.5 years old, at the Budokai in London,
Okay.
which is I think the oldest club in Europe.
Wow.
I started there, and then after a few years, I moved over to Moberly Judo Club with Coach Basil Dawkins, and that's where I kind of grew up, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, I really grew up with Moberly, and then when I was 18, I went to Chicago for university, and I joined the U.S. team in 20 at the end of 2013. So I did start off competing for Great Britain in
Mhm.
cadets, but then since my dad's American, and I decided I'd rather fight for America.
And we're happy
And
for you.
I like the freedom of America.
Oh, great. Yeah, so that's great.
So
Yes, you joined.
since 2014, I've been representing U.S. on actually the senior team.
Yeah, yeah. I remember because I obviously was competing then, and I remember you traveling with your dad to some competitions, and I was like, oh, who's this? Because I didn't see you from like when you were younger, all of a sudden you were like, fighting for us, and you were fighting in minus 100s, correct?
Yeah, so when I was about, so in cadets, I fought at minus 90,
Hmm.
and I was actually quite light for the weight class, so I was about like 83 kilos.
Okay.
And then I decided when I went to juniors, I switched to hundreds. But again, I was also pretty light. I was only about 92, 94 kilos.
Wow.
But in juniors, it was pretty successful. And at the opens and cups, I was still getting some wins at under hundreds at the senior level.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then, at that kind of Grand Prix, Grand Slam level, I was just like, these guys are monsters. So
Yeah.
I went down to 90, and I found a little bit more success there, I think.
I mean, you were pretty successful as a junior. I remember you got fifth at the Junior Worlds, correct?
Yeah, I got fifth at the Junior Worlds, and I got 6 medals at the Junior European Cups.
Yeah. So I mean, like you were really successful in the juniors. That's why I remember you. And then you were fighting hundreds and seniors for a while, but then you moved down, correct? That's what you decided.
Yeah, post university, in about 2019, I decided to move to 90
Yeah.
and try and make a run for 2020 just in that last year. And
Hmm.
then COVID hit, and
Hmm.
I was never really that close there. But then after COVID, I think I started catching into my stride.
Yeah. And look where you are now. You're going to the Olympics. So, and under 90 kilos. So it's great. So, yeah, if anyone is following you on Instagram, your account is Captain Jayne Trains. We see you like to.
Captain Jayne 97, and then there's also Captain Jayne
Yes,
Train.
you have
So
two.
there's
I mean, I follow you on both of
two
them.
Instagrams.
You have
Yeah,
two
there's the main
Instagrams.
Instagram. And it's kind of like when I started posting training stuff, I was like, all right, I'll put it on a different Instagram because I don't want to just like bombard people with training content that don't want to see it. So like, people who want to see it, they can see it. If you don't, you
I
don't
mean, I like to see
follow
it.
it.
I like training. I think
Yeah.
it's interesting to see what you're doing outside of the tatami, So I know you like to weightlift. So what changes have you made in your training since you found out you made the Olympic team? So what's has your Olympic preparation been like these last few weeks?
Yeah, so right after the Worlds, when I found out I was going to go, the first thing I did was have a holiday in Dubai for about a week and a half
Nice.
because I was like, I think I've competed pretty solidly for the last 3 years.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like, it's been very nonstop. So I was like, I need a rest
yeah,
first.
that was a good idea.
And then the last 7 weeks have been, pretty full on. I did two international camps. I did one in Porridge and then one in Benidorm. And
Hmm.
then I also did a week of training in Valencia.
Hmm.
And then the other weeks I've been back at my main training club, Camberley Judo Club.
Okay.
So everything kind of been building up. towards the Olympics. So, things started off a bit lighter in the gym,
Yeah.
but now in this week I've pretty much been hitting like maximal weights at pretty good speed.
Okay, that's good. So you
So,
feel
I'm
good,
feeling,
benefits.
in the gym and on the mat, I'm feeling a lot stronger than I have
That's
in a
great.
little while.
And yeah, you had like some time to actually like train, because these last months have been crazy, traveling everywhere, doing all the competitions. So it's hard to have like a really consistent training schedule, a training plan, right? So
Yeah, it's been nice to have like a full like training camp,
yeah, yeah,
or
right.
in other sports like boxing or MMA, you see
Yeah,
people get a 12-week training camp, to lead
yeah.
up to a
Like it's
fight,
not existent
you
here
know,
in the judo world, right? It doesn't exist.
and the last month of the qualification
Yeah.
prep, there was Pan Am's, then there was Tajikistan, then there was Kazakhstan and Worlds, and
In worlds.
you know, you
Yeah.
we had to travel, across the world, and
Yeah.
we get to Worlds and we're just exhausted.
Yeah. I mean, I was I
I've
was
done
just
maybe
there doing
one,
it
maybe
too.
done maybe two trainings in the last month, and okay, now I need to pull out my best performance. It's just,
Yeah, it's been a really
so
hard
having
schedule.
that full, having that full like training block has been really nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really good. That's very good. So let's talk about your competition. So what has been your favorite competition moments in this last cycle? We talked about you got silver at the Pan Ams this year. Maybe that's
Yeah,
your
that's
favorite, but you can talk about
I
it.
think I feel like that silver to Pan Am's was pretty special.
Hmm.
Beating the Brazilian in Brazil is always a special moment.
Yeah,
And there's been good moments as well.
yeah.
When I got in the first competition of the Olympic qualification in Budapest,
Mhm.
where I got seventh. That also was like, that first moment where I was like, I think I can go. Like,
Yeah,
before you're kind of
you
like,
got the belief inside, right? This
it's right off the block hitting a seventh, and beating a couple really good players, and you're like, yeah, maybe I can, maybe I can do this, you
Yeah.
know.
That's great. Yeah,
And
so I think like yeah, the silver at Pan Am's was like really amazing. That was really cool to watch. Love your celebrations. Always fun. Always a
well,
nice.
you got to celebrate, there's others, in football, every time they score a
Ah,
point, they
that's
celebrate.
true. Yeah.
Why can't we celebrate it with Zari?
Yeah. You celebrated Wazari, but you know what? It was like a very big Wazari and it was all worth it. I really think.
I mean, I did it, and then as soon as I started celebrating, and even before I looked to the ref, I knew they were going to score it with Zari, because I was like,
Yeah.
it's too good to be true. They're not going to give that to me. So I was like, all right, I was like pretty quick to refocus, because I didn't expect them to give me the full upon.
Yeah, and that's actually very like experienced of you to think that okay, they're not gonna give me the full score. Let
Yeah,
me like refocus and really focus on the match. How much time was left in the match? Do you remember?
it was like it was like a good 2.5, 3 minutes left.
Okay, yeah,
But
it was like it was in the beginning. It's a long time in
yeah,
judo
and then but the
matches.
thing
Yeah,
is, I kind of looked at him, and I was like, I knew I would win. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know if you ever looked at your opponent in the eyes and you're like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm gonna win this.
This is yes, I have experienced this in my career, and
Yeah,
it makes you feel even stronger, right? And more like
yeah,
okay,
you
like
just feel so much more confident.
yeah, and confidence, and you actually feel more confident to like be more free and to try more judo and not to be more that's so stiff. So I know exactly this feeling, and it's like actually I think one of the best feelings when you're competing. Um, I know this. So let's talk about Paris. So yeah, what are your expectations and goals going into Paris?
Well, obviously, the goal is to win gold. You know, well, no, really, the goal is to go and win the first match.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's really, you focus on that first match.
Hmm.
And, my main goal is to show up, like warm up properly. And so I can go out there and just put in the best performance,
Yeah.
because I know I've trained hard for this. And, you know, I know in Randori I've been feeling really good.
Hmm.
So I know what I'm capable of. So it's just about kind of pulling that out on the mat and in the Olympics.
Yeah. And yeah, so before the competition, do you look at the draw? What is your like pre-competition ritual really?
Yeah, I pretty much look at a draw as soon as it comes out. Like I'm watching that live. I'm watching the live stream to just like see what happens,
Okay.
and then from there I kind of watch videos of the person and try and figure out, okay, can I beat them? How will I beat them?
Mhm.
Kind of just figure out the tactics, see what they're good at,
Yeah.
and see what I do to like avoid their throws.
And do you do the tactics by yourself? Do you like talk to anybody? Who do you talk with before a competition?
Um, a lot of times I've done it by myself,
Hmm.
but also I do it with the Camberley coach, Luke Preston.
Okay. So
So
you have
usually
some
I'll look through
other
tactics.
insights. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of by yourself. So that's actually very,
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk to other athletes from different countries, they would never, think of doing it themselves, but
Yeah.
it's very good. I think
Well,
you're fighting after
a
you do
lot,
it by yourself, right?
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, you need to know your own tactics.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's some fun in trying to like problem solve and figure out how you're going to beat someone.
Yes, but what did you go to school for? Like your mathematicians?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yes.
did my undergraduate math,
Sounds
and then I also did my master's in mathematics.
yeah, so maybe this is why you're a problem solving problem solving guy.
Yeah,
But it's really great that you do the tactics yeah, by yourself. It's really cool.
yeah. I mean, there's something satisfying about like coming up with your own tactics and then going out there and it works.
Yeah, that I can
There,
imagine.
there's been times in some matches where my opponent will have my sleeve or something, and I'm just like, I know you don't actually have an attack from here.
Yeah,
Like I've watched your videos, I know I can relax right now,
yeah.
kind of thing, or like, you know exactly how they're gonna move,
Hmm.
and when it works really nicely, and you're satisfied. When it doesn't work, you're like, wow, that was that was bad,
Yeah, to go back
and
yeah, like redo.
you're like, wow, that wasn't my best. you know you're like, you go out there with a plan and it doesn't work at all, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh
but that's
boy.
sports though.
Oh,
It's normal, Like I think
yeah,
every coach, athlete has all like their plan has all failed. Definitely. I know my plans have
yeah,
failed. I've seen like it happens in sports, and that's why sports is so interesting because you never know what you're gonna get on the day, and that's why
yeah,
yeah, you never know. Like you can't count anyone out. Anyone can win, get the medal. So
yeah.
yeah, so is anyone special coming to Paris to watch? You have family, friends, who's coming to Paris?
Yeah, my parents, my brother's coming. Also, my club coach
Okay.
from where I grew up in Moberly, so
Oh,
Basil
cool. Okay.
is coming, and also his son.
Oh,
So
wow.
it'll be a nice group of people there.
That's great. And plans for after the Olympics?
So my plan is going to Bulgaria for about 2.5 weeks.
Hmm.
So first week, my dad runs a math competition actually for university students, the IMC,
Okay.
International Mathematics competition. So
Are you doing the
uh,
competition or are you just
I'm
gonna
not doing the competition. No, I go and
okay.
help. I've
Okay.
graduated, so I help with the competition. I help, with kind of the day-to-day organization and stuff there.
Okay.
So that's kind of like immediately after the competition, after the Olympics, I'm going there to help out.
Okay.
Then come back for the closing ceremony. Then I'll go back to Bulgaria and
Oh,
visit
okay.
some family from my mother's side.
Okay.
So go to the village, relax, just kind of do nothing for a little bit.
So are you planning to do any sightseeing in France or not really? What is your plan?
I've I've done study abroad in Paris
Oh, okay.
when I was at U Chicago
Okay.
for a quarter, and then I've been to the Paris Grand Slam quite a few times, so I feel like I've seen most of the sites
Same.
in
I
Paris.
know what you
I've
yeah.
been to the Louvre, I've been to Versailles,
Yeah.
I've been to the main places, so I think I'll probably just focus on the competition and
Yeah.
kind of the Olympic experience.
Yeah, live experience staying in the athlete village. Will you watch, you think you'll watch any other sports when you're there?
Probably not.
Not interested.
I'm there for judo. I don't have tickets for other sports, so I don't think I'm able to get into the other venues anyway.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, and so are you gonna you're gonna watch judo every day, right? So you're gonna go and watch
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would have liked to go watch the weightlifting and the wrestling, I think,
yeah.
but I didn't get tickets, and I'd
Maybe
rather
you can
just
get
focus on
maybe
judo.
when you're there, maybe they have
It's
special tickets.
possible.
Yeah, that'd be
I'll see what's possible, but really the main focus is on the competition. And
yeah, of course. to be focused. And just a question, how many Paris Grand Slams have you competed in? If you can remember.
Oh, one.
Too many?
They kind of blur together
I
sometimes.
know, right? I know. That is true. So you've been to Paris too many times, so yeah, visiting all the sites, not necessary. Great.
No, but it's nice that, it's a place you're kind of used to.
Yeah, it's yeah,
So,
you're
it's not
comfortable,
like a
like
big
it's
wow.
mhm,
It's kind of the Olympic Village will be definitely an experience, but at least like I'm going to be in a city that I'm pretty accustomed to. So,
for sure.
it's going to be familiar.
Yeah. So what's, you made you have almost every athlete actually, they have this dream to be an Olympian, to make the Olympic team. So what do the Olympics mean to you? So how special is it to be competing at the Olympics?
Well, it's definitely special because, from when I was growing up, especially from a young age, my dad was showing me kind of like defining films, highlight videos from the World Championships and the Olympics.
Hmm.
And he was showing me kind of like videos of like documentaries from like Dan Gable and Cael Sanderson on wrestling, and their life story and how, they won the Olympics. And so from like a really young age, I was like, I want to go to the Olympics. Like I want to win the Olympics. That's like from a very young age, I've been like had that dream.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like, when you have a childhood dream and you're actually fulfilling it is really something special.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, obviously the next Olympics are going to be in LA. So, what advice would you give to, the up and coming judoka that are coming through, perhaps maybe competing at the Olympics in LA? Yeah, you have some advice for the young judoka of USA.
Try and get to training in Europe
Hmm.
a lot. Try and go to those what's it called? What's the international training camps called again?
OTCs?
Yeah, the OTCs, the Olympic train. Yeah, the OTC. Go to the OTCs. Go to the EJU training camps.
Yeah.
Go visit training centers around Europe.
Hmm.
Try and see what all the different countries are doing
Yeah.
because that's where you really can develop a lot of skills and learn a lot about judo. Because if you're always just training in one place, you're only seeing things from that perspective. You need to go and really kind of open your horizons and see what people do in
Mhm.
different countries and see why they're successful. You know,
Yeah.
countries like countries like Germany, Spain, who are really produce a lot of good players, etc. You can pretty much name any European country, they've produced a lot of players.
Yeah.
Go and see why they've done that.
Yeah.
See how they did it,
Yeah.
because then you can see how to apply that to yourself. But the juniors have been doing pretty well recently. I'd say
I agree.
we've been
Yeah.
getting.
Yeah.
When I was a junior, it was kind of just me at these junior European Cups all by myself, kind of warming up by myself. Going out there with no
Oh.
coach, just my dad in the crowd with a video camera.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I'd make friends with just people at the competition.
Yeah, that's like what you had to do.
But
It,
but now we got a full teams going to these competitions and they're medaling.
yeah,
You know,
I think that like the
we're
European,
consistently producing medals at these junior European Cups, and I think that's pretty exciting for the next few years
yeah,
because that's not something we've had in the last 10 years.
for sure.
That's definitely new.
Yeah. And I think this this the European Cups, the tour, it's so cool.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't have this when I was younger. There was a few, of course, junior European Cups when I was
yeah,
this is a long time ago now,
yeah,
like my junior Worlds was 2006. That's how old I am. So I think now there's just a lot more like opportunity to get better. Like, for also
yeah,
there's the Pan American Cups as well, that didn't exist when I was younger. And yeah, so I think this is a great way for our young generation to develop, and I'm excited too to see what happens.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, I'm hoping they go to the senior European Cups as well, and those
Yes, yeah,
European Opens, and really kind of build up a
yeah,
kind of a resume of medals at those events, and then
yeah.
I think they'll be
Experience is
I
needed.
think they'll be dangerous on the world tour once they're kind of developed fully.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay. So, John, thank you so much for your time. We are really excited to see you compete. I believe you are competing on Thursday, July.
I think it's a,
I'm
I
messing up.
think it's a, I think it's a Wednesday,
Oh my
31st of July.
goodness. Wednesday. You're competing on Wednesday. I knew this. So Wednesday next. I can't believe it. It's so soon. It's coming. Wednesday,
Yeah, it's coming up pretty soon now.
the 31st of July. So that is the day for your competing. So we look forward to seeing you. Best of luck. And yeah, all the best in these next few days as you prepare for the Olympic Games.
All right, thank you so much.